His Excellency Dr. Subramaniam Jaishankar, Minister of External Affairs of India, friends from the media. His Excellency Dr. Jaishankar needs no introduction. Dr. Jaishankar visited us in March 2017 in his capacity as Foreign Secretary, and I would like to thank him for visiting Mauritius again. We extend a very warm welcome to him as a friend and a well-wisher of Mauritius. His visit will give an added momentum to what we consider already as a unique, trusted, and enduring relationship with India. Allow me at the outset to express my condolences and that of the government and the people of Mauritius for the loss of lives following the Uttarakhand glacier disaster earlier this month. This morning, I had a very fruitful meeting with Dr. Jaishankar, where we reviewed several aspects of our cooperation and relationship and how to best move forward. Bilaterally, we reaffirmed our joint commitment to support efforts for COVID-19 vaccine access across the developing world and to support our economic recovery. Regionally, we agreed to continue to work in support of our common interests in an open and prosperous and secure Indian Ocean. Multilaterally, we had converging views on the need to work together to strengthen the rules-based international order and global governance institutions, including those of the United Nations system. Here, I must again congratulate India for her election as a non-permanent member on the United Nations Security Council for a 2-year term which started on the 1st of January of this year. In welcoming India's return to the Security Council, we emphatically reiterate our unreserved support for India to serve as a permanent member of the Security Council. The key focus of our meeting today was unavoidably on the persisting COVID-19 challenges. We applaud Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji for his assurances to the global community that India's vaccine production and delivery capacity will be used to help all humanity in fighting the COVID-19 crisis. We are grateful to the Government of India for the donation of 100,000 doses of vaccines in January this year and for facilitating the procurement of another 100,000 doses which have just been handed over today. We've welcomed the assistance of India for the procurement of a further 200,000 doses of vaccines, which we are expecting in the coming month. We had the opportunity to again acknowledge this morning with gratitude the emergency assistance provided by India for the relief salvage operations following the oil spill which occurred when the bulk carrier MV Wakasho ran aground on the coral reef in July last year. Our meeting was followed by the signature and exchange of a series of cooperation instruments, namely the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Partnership Agreement, SECPA, the Dollar Credit Line Agreement, the Letter of Exchange for lease of passenger variant Dornier and advanced light helicopter, the Letter of Exchange on support towards construction of renal transport unit in Mauritius, the exchange of contract for 8 megawatt solar photovoltaic farm project at Tamarind Falls, en Yeta, and the MOU on consumer protection and legal metrology. These instruments capture the widening breadth and scope of a stronger Mauritius-India partnership. It confirms the development-oriented approach that drives our partnership. I wish to highlight the fact that the Comprehensive Economic Cooperation Partnership Agreement is the first of its kind signed by India with an African country. This landmark agreement is far-reaching and should unleash new and expanded opportunities in trade, in goods and services, investment, economic cooperation, and technical assistance. The SECPA will encourage Indian entrepreneurs to invest both in Mauritius and across the whole region, thus consolidating our ambition of making Mauritius a strategic regional economic hub and a center of excellence. The SECPA coincides with the launch at the beginning of the year of the African Continental Free Trade Area, home to an estimated 1.3 billion consumers with a rising middle-class component. Thus, the SECPA and the African Continental Free Trade Area provide, together, a high scope for fostering Indian investments in the continent via the Mauritius Gateway, particularly through leveraging India-Africa value chains in many areas such as textiles, pharmaceuticals, agro-industry, and ICT. In this regard, as India seeks to step her vast and multi-layered cooperation with the African continent through the next edition of the India-Africa Forum, Mauritius aspires to play a greater role in these engagements as a gateway between India and Africa. We also discussed on India's space program, and we acknowledge that India is helping more than 50 countries, including Mauritius, to boost the space technology and resultant services, including capacity program driven by the Indian Space and Research Organization. We continue to look to India as an indispensable partner for assistance in building up air capabilities to derive benefits of space technology. Mauritius and India remain committed to working together, bilaterally and with regional partners, to enhance capacity for sustainable management of marine resources and to address challenges in the maritime domains, including piracy and multiple forms of maritime crime. In doing so, we will build on the wide-ranging defense cooperation, which we highly value and which spans capacity building, coastal surveillance, hydrographic surveys, providing deterrence to piracy and illegal fishing in the region, and the establishment of coastal radar surveillance systems. We recall here that it was during his official visit in 2015 to Mauritius that Sri Narendra Modi ji spelled out India's vision for the Indian Ocean, which is security and growth for all in the region, also known as Sagar. As frontline states of the Indian Ocean, we have the common ambition and the responsibility of preserving and working for a safe, secure, and prosperous Indian Ocean. As a reflection of this ambition, we intend to host the third edition of the Ministerial Conference on Maritime Security this year, and we very much rely on the contribution of India to the proceedings. Ensuring peace and respect for the rule of law in the Indo-Pacific region was one of the issues which I discussed with Dr. Jaishankar during our meeting earlier today. I welcome the renewed commitment of the Quad countries to upholding a rules-based international order underpinned by respect for territorial integrity and sovereignty, the rule of law, transparency, freedom of navigation in the international waters, and peaceful resolution of disputes. Adherence to these principles is crucial to the maintenance of peace and friendliness amongst nations based on the respect for the rule of law. In that context, we reviewed the latest developments in respect of the completion of the decolonization of Mauritius, a matter on which India has given its unflinching support right from the beginning of our struggle. I had the opportunity to again thank India for its continued support for a resolution of the matter in accordance with international law, and to reiterate that the completion of the decolonization process of Mauritius will have no implications for the maintenance of the defense operations in Diego Garcia. Similarly, we are confident of the support of India in facilitating an early exit of Mauritius from the grey list of the Financial Action Task Force based on our good records of implementation of the action plan. We have agreed with the FATF to address the deficiencies identified in our anti-money laundering and counter-terrorism financing regimes. An early exit will restore our international reputation as a jurisdiction of choice and substance, supported by our excellent credentials on the ease of doing business. I have no doubt that the visit of Dr. Jaishankar will give a new impetus to the excellent relationship between Mauritius and India, and that our partnership, focused on purposeful action, is called upon to take a more strategic orientation in the future. To conclude, let me convey through you, Excellency, my best feelings of well-being to Sri Narendra Modi ji. We look forward to his next visit to Mauritius at the earliest available opportunity. Thank you.